Hello and welcome to Perfection IS. In this video, we are going to discuss some important current affair topics that will be very much beneficial for the upcoming 66th BPSC mains examination. But before starting that, we'd like you to inform that you can get this current affair booklet free of cost at your home. What you have to do is just to send your personal details, the postal details to our Perfection IS contact team so that you will be sent with this booklet and many other materials whenever it is required. Perfection IS is also conducting online and offline test series for the 66th BPSC mains examination. You can avail and enroll for that by contacting our team with the given contact numbers. So let's start an important topic, and this topic is related to important socio-economic indices. So recently the BPSC has been trademarked with asking the reports of the UNDP, that is United Nations Development Programme, the Human Development Index. So it is very important topic, especially for the paper one. That is, every year you might have seen an alternate trend of asking these important reports and indices. So first is Human Development Index in 2020. So the very important point is it is published by UNDP and a statistical tool which measures countries' overall achievement in its social as well as economic dimensions, which includes three basic things, that is life expectancy, education, per capita income as well. Now what's new for this year? So this year there was a plan for a new metric to reflect the impact caused by each country's per capita carbon emission, that is the carbon footprint mechanism, but it was not taken into consideration and it will be considered in the next point. So in the next upcoming year the report will include the fourth parameter, that is the impact caused by per capita carbon emission by that country, and that will be called as planetary pressure adjusted HDI, that is PHDI. Now what was the India's performance this year? So India actually dropped. So unfortunately we dropped by 2 ranks, standing at 131 out of 189 countries. And if the index were to be adjusted on the PHDI, because our per capita carbon emission is very low, so we would have better increased by 8 places. So if the PHDI will be included as a parameter, we will actually get increase in our ranking. So our ranking would have been much better if there will be an inclusion of the PHDI. Now what is the performance of the other countries? Norway tops the country. However, if PHDI would, because these countries are actually developed countries and they emit carbon into large quantities and their population is also low. So if they are emitting carbon in large quantities and their population is also low, what is going to happen? The per capita carbon footprint or the per capita carbon emission is higher, and that is why when PHDI will be included, these so-called top developed countries in the Western Europe, they will come down, especially near about 15 to 20 places, and that is why very high human development group, in fact the top 50 countries will actually come down, and China would drop by 16 places, Australia falls 72 places in the ranking, where the USA stands, and the Canada would fall 40 to 50 places respectively. And this is why the PHDI is not been included, because of the so-called impact on the so-called developed West countries. Now second is World Development Report 2020, which is published by the World Development Report, that is the World Bank, and it actually has been published in 1978, and the latest World Bank report is that World Development Report 2020, which focuses on trading for development in the age of global global value chains. So in the age of global value chains, how trading can be used for better development. And what are the key findings? The two key findings. First is there is the steepest decline in the poverty are witnessed among the countries that became an integral part of the global value chains. For example, Bangladesh, China, Vietnam. The growth in the GVC was rapid in 1990s, but the global crisis of 2008, the GVC expansion has slowed down due to overall reasons like the decline in the overall growth, decline in investment, slowing pace, the reversal of the trade forums, and protectionism as well. Now threats to the labor intensive and trade led growth as well, arrival of labor saving technologies, artificial intelligence, trade conflicts, TRIPS rights, WTO rights, other clauses, other subsidies, etc. GVC drives employment, better standard of living, and reduce poverty. So GVC, that is the global value chain, drives employment, better standard of living, and reduce poverty, and that can be seen by the word hyper specialization as well as increased in the number of remittances. Now, another point is what is the development and what are the standings of this report in India. So, since different countries participate in the global value chain in different ways, India too had its own participation in the global value chain, and it is among the list of the nation that have transitioned from a limited manufacturing GVC into an advanced manufacturing GVC, that is the global value chain. So, initially, when India was a limited global value chain company, it has increased into a higher and important advanced manufacturing. India has seen an expansion of the GVC service. For example, information and communication technologies, business services sectors are rapidly getting expanded. India is one among the nations where outward directed investments of the firms have surged, and recently the World Bank reports or UNCTAD, United Nations report on trade and development, had said that India has been the highest getter of the investment and FDIs in the coming years, one of the highest of the top 5 countries to get the FDI during this COVID time of 2020 or 2021. India, Indonesia, Nigeria firms with fewer than 10 workers account for more than 99% of the total, and these are the important finding of this World Development Report. Another important index is Global Democracy Index. Now, context is lowered rank. India has actually slipped 10 places in this group, especially in 2019 in Democracy Index to 51st. That is, initially we were 41st, but now we have decreased to 51st. So, because of the so-called media management and the so-called various issues like CAA or 370 and other false propaganda with the Western countries and not. So, and as well as the poor management of the COVID-19 techniques, global leaders are casted. Definitely, the global media has actually criticizing India, and they have downgraded our democracy ranking. So, democracy index, which began in 2026, is prepared by the Economic Intelligence Unit, that is EIU. It is the same organization which also prepares the report for the Livable Cities Index, and among that index there are many cities which has been livable, and the Auckland of Wellington of the New Zealand has been increased the very easiest city and the most livable city in the world as well. Economic Intelligence Unit's Research and Analysis Division of the Economic Group had actually a sister company of the Economist newspaper. Basically, this index has been developed on various parameters, and first is the 5 categories, that is the civil liberties, the what are the freedoms that is available to the citizens, electoral process and pluralism, functioning of the government, political participation, and the political culture. Countries are scored on a scale to 0 to 10 on the 60 indicators that can be of these categories. Based on their scores, countries are categorized into 4 basic groups and regimes, that is full democracy, flawed democracy, hybrid regime, etc., as well as authoritarian. The most and the worst is authoritarianism. There has been a globally fall in the score, and the average score has been fallen from 5.48 in 2018 to 5.44 in 2019, and this is the worst average. Causes are very different causes like sharp regression in Latin America, Sub-Saharan Africa. There are only 22 full democracies compared to 54 authoritarian regimes, as many as flawed democracy, and many of the organizations have termed India as electoral autocracy, though it was by the VDEM Institute of the Sweden and many other reports. But if they are also downgrading the kind of democracy in India, as well as almost one half of the world population live in a democracy of some sort, although only 5.7% reside in a full democracy, and that is the issue of concern. The total score of some 68 countries has declined. And what are the Indian performance? So there is in fall in score. It is said that India democracy has been kept in the flawed democracy, that is 7.2 places, and that is a very unfortunate decision. Although it is being prepared by the false propaganda and the Western management, but still it is a lower ranking. Stripping of the Jammu Kashmir Special Acts, CAA, NRC, etc., has been seen comparison with other countries like in Asia and Australian regime. India ranks 8th, even behind the countries like Taiwan and Timor, let's say, etc. So these are the important points. Bangladesh has a score of 5.88 flood category. China has 2.6. North Korea has 1.8. Norway has rank, and that is why Norway has been the top rated country. So this was all for today's video. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and take care of yourselves. Do send your personal details, postal address to the Perfectionize team so that you can get this booklet free of cost and get the maximum benefit in the upcoming 66 BPSC mains examination. Have a good day.